the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Good morning, Santa Barbara Teen Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. after the news. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all the people and all those wonderful businesses that support those athletes right now, right here, right now. All right, it seems like there can't be a week that goes by where I can't, reach out and thank somebody. And it's just now, it's like, ever since we did the arthritis walk, I mean, it's crazy now. People are calling. They want Erica. I'm like, oh, I don't have, I think May's filled up, huh? Dominique Hackett, we're busy.
We are. You're busy helping people.
I know. Well, I want to reach out right now and thank Dr. David Cowan in Montecito. He's a dentist out there by the Bird Refuge. Put your hands together. He is going to be donating to the United Boys and Girls Club all the brushes, all the floss, all the paste, that the kids need, okay? And I don't think he realizes there's 7,000 kids. I didn't want to tell him the number right now, okay? But there's a lot of kids, okay? And it's really nice. I mean, he's reached out, and then on Facebook, coincidentally, he noticed that we were doing those change boxes, and he wants to put one of those change boxes, and he wants to ask to dollar up. Nice. So he's figuring out how many people he sees in a week, and it's a very, robust practice that he has in Montecito. And who's not going to throw $1 for a kid, right?
Yeah.
I want the list of the people that don't put in the $1. That's what I want. I want to see that list. I'm just kidding.
Good dental care is so important to learn.
That's
and
it.
As teens, if you get that habit of dental flossing early, that's...
No bridges when you're in your 40s. That's what it equates to. And bridges are expensive, huh, Dominique?
No root canals.
We don't need any of those.
There's been some decent research to just correlate quality of life with the health of your mouth. So it's
powered by mouth. That's what people say about me. I don't know why they say that. Smiling because Sonia does my teeth every 3 months because I have issues. Because that gingivitis, it's in both sides of my family. So I figured if I knock it out and see, smiling, and then you have to have the Sonotech toothbrush. That's a must. And they sell them there. This is so exciting. So since we're going to go around the room really quick. Okay, we got Dr. May Chandler. Woo!
Good morning.
You don't have scrubs on today.
I don't know.
And Team Chandler, we kicked their butt in the arthritis walk.
Yes.
We did good.
Teen Sports Radio, my family, it was so wonderful to have you guys there to support not just arthritis, but Team Chandler.
We brought down the rain. Literally.
Yeah, we did bring down the rain.
We brought the rain.
It was a nice little shower at the end of that long 3-mile walk.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
So you did well.
We did well, yes.
And plus we have a whole month.
This whole month of May is Arthritis Month.
Nice.
So we're still saving up for each team, and so we can get our rewards because I really want that Keurig.
How funny is that? Motivation. I love
exactly
that.
right.
In my industry, it's like that too. Carrot. It's awesome. I love it. Radio. We've got Dr. Scott Noble. Woo!
Thank you, Erica. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
You always say something like, heartfelt. So let it out.
Gosh, heartfelt. Well, I think we've all got a bigger heart than we actually, let ourselves believe. And so I think that the message of the day is to just dig in and find out what that heart looks like for you. Because, we like to put labels on these things, but really it's about finding this definition that comes from within.
Nice.
So I'm going to be a little vague there, but I want to go for the authenticity card today.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, study!
That can be a big card.
That's it. All right, behind me, because we've got standing room only today, we got Joan Calder. Woo!
Hello. How nice to be here. And you know what this week is?
What?
My birthday is this week, so I usually take at least a week or two to celebrate. So let me tell you, I like cards and letters and chocolate.
That's nice. It's so nice when you're honest. It's awesome. Dominique, put that on the list. Okay.
Nice.
All right, we've got one last I don't know, Dominique Hackett. She's our Chief Happiness Officer. Dominique, you're going to say something amazing, I know. I always ask you before we get here. So what are you going to talk about? I'll tell you when we get there.
Well, we are starting the beginning of our 5th year, Teen Sports Radio. And so I decided that
I like that. Yeah.
I I'm going to dedicate this whole next year to helping to teach kids about herbs, because herbs are really important to our health, and it's a real easy way that we can help take care of ourselves.
Nice.
So today I was just going to share a little bit about mint. It's one of my favorite herbs. So it's really super easy to grow. And if you have some mint growing outside, you usually grow it near a spigot.
Right.
What do you call it?
Under my mother's spigot.
Exactly. The faucet outside. Exactly. So under the hose bib, it's a great place for it to be. You can put it in cold water or hot water, and it's just so healthy for you. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do this next year.
Very nice, Dominique Hackett.
Thank you,
Last but not least, before we go to break, we're nothing without Dr. D, okay? We're starting year 5. Everything you do for this programming, you're doing.
Excuse me, I'm busy over here producing,
I know,
okay?
you do all the productions. Anything I ask of you, you say yes. I mean, it just never ends. And the show wouldn't be able to do what we do by giving everything back to the community, to the teens, without you donating all your time and the programming donating all of its time. So thank you so much. And I thank Wendy McCaw and Les Carroll for giving me this opportunity 4 years ago. So let's just kick butt this year. Let's raise a ton of money. I want to raise a ton of money.
Let's do it.
I'm feeling it right now. That's
absolutely.
it. All right, Dr. D.
Thank you.
All right, we've got a great show today. This is Erica Salda. Please stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teens. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. right after the news. Well, I am so blessed and excited to introduce in the house today, Ronnie. I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to let you say your last name because I don't want to make it wrong.
Shahbazian.
Shahbazian! Yeah! That's like shebang. I just wanted to say shebang is what I wanted
That would have been fine too.
I know, it's awesome. Ronnie, we got to talk to
you. You can rename me that if you want.
no, shebang.
Yeah, this is really exciting. I'm excited to be here with a room full of people. I got here early for makeup and wardrobe, but then I realized it's radio.
But you still look good.
Thank you.
hot.
Thank you. I look better than I look because it's radio.
That's awesome. Hey, you let us speak, Dominique and I, and Efren. When Ozo went over to your place, we actually Cody's, and they had the back room there, and you're having a little monthly meeting, and I appreciate again.
Weekly.
It's weekly meeting.
Yes.
I apologize. Well, thank you for correcting the host. Okay, weekly. And we went out there and we got to say, a few words, and you just opened your arms, and it was just amazing because Santa Barbara Riders for Veterans Foundation, you just talk about that, your foundation, but also talk about what you do for kids, because I don't think anybody realizes what you do.
Well, Santa Barbara Riders has been around for a number of years. We started longer than I've been a part of it, and I've been a part of it for about 12 years. And I assumed the spokesperson's position a year ago when the people that were involved in the organization decided that they wanted someone to take over the reins. So they said, would somebody please step forward so that we could have a spokesperson to help us handle the organization? So everybody else stepped back. And I became the spokesperson for Santa Barbara Riders. And about a year ago, through the help of Henry Schulte and his wife Dundee, they were the founders of Santa Barbara Riders for Veterans Foundation. That's when that organization took hold. I became the president of that organization, and the Schultes have been generous in their funds, and we have raised money for various entities, for children, for veterans. Last year we had a donation to the Disabled American Veterans. That's in Santa Barbara, local chapter 37, and they're located at the Veterans Memorial Building. Now, these people do a lot of things for Santa Barbara veterans, and we wanted to help them out. They have a van, and the van serves a great purpose because a veteran can get transportation to LA or to different entities where they need to go for appointments, but it doesn't always take care of their family. It doesn't always take care of the kids. They may not be eligible to ride in that van or bus, however they get there. But this van will serve that purpose. So our donation was earmarked for the upkeep and maintenance of that van. And then this year we're having a golf tournament, July the 25th, and that money will go into the foundation. The Executive Women's Golf Association is putting on that, and we're going to be the beneficiaries of that golf tournament. That money will be earmarked for a salute to the vets in November. We had one last year. Jerry Farmer helped us put it on. He's on our board because he's got so much energy. So we said, we need you on the board. You're vice president. And so he helps get things going. He brings helicopters. He brings tanks. He brings all kinds of things. The kids get to climb all over all that stuff, and they love it. So we're going to do another one of those in the fall. And this year, it's going to be at the Elks Club. So we're looking forward to doing a lot of things. This foundation is going to grow, and we're going to help the community. And sometimes you don't think you're helping the kids, but when the kids are involved through their parents and through the families, then they're getting the help as well. And, you know, we got, so it's, we're still in May, right? Okay. So when we met last week and you told us about the Boys and Girls Club of Goleta, we went to that casino night.
You were killing it on the table.
That was so much fun. You know, I had a great time, and you know, got to spend some money. I killed the silent auction. It was great. I had to make 2 trips. I had to go home, and I came in a truck. So that's how much stuff I went away with. But anyway, it's events like that help our community, help the families, and help the kids.
That's so beautiful, building community. That was the warmth that I felt when I got to come to Cody's and see a group of people. It's really wonderful.
And the people you see, they're parents and their grandparents and their kids that are having kids that are a part of that group. So it's, you know, we have 250 people on our mailing list, and we get about 20 to 30 people in Cody's on a Wednesday night.
That's so wonderful.
You know, and we have a great time. We talk about rides. We talk about events that we're going to be doing for the community, for ourselves, and just to have a great time and do something with our sport, if you want to call motorcycle riding a sport. But in doing so, we can help the community. The Santa Barbara Riders has been for years part of the Unity Shop Toy Run. We've been part of that. We helped get that thing going, and we will always be a part of it. But the Veterans Foundation is also going to be an integral part of what we do as motorcycle riders.
Ronnie, how many are in your club right now? How many are active?
Well, there's 250 people on the mailing list, and I'd say there's between 20 and 30, sometimes as many as 50 people actively involved, rotating in and out. Not everybody can show up on a Wednesday night, but people show up for events. And when we have different things, we have rides. 50 people went on a ride to Death Valley last year. Mm-hmm. So those things are a lot of fun. You want to go?
So why not? Why not? It's my birthday month. Maybe I should do that. That would be exciting.
So it sounds like there's a nice reflection here. You're helping the external community, and in so doing,
and we're having a hell of a time.
Yeah, it's bonding your internal community. It's bonding your internal community together by helping other people. Right. That's really fantastic.
It's a great opportunity. When I first got involved with this group about 12 years ago, it was for the sole purpose of finding a group that went on rides, had activities, and did something for the community. It had to be all-inclusive, and I found the right group.
That's great. What do you think really feeds the motivation the most? What keeps you guys going?
The opportunity to provide what we love doing as motorcyclists and business people throughout the community, mm-hmm. for our passion for what we do and making that a guiding spirit for what we want to do for the community.
Excellent.
So if someone comes to us and says we're having a casino night, well, we're going to rally the troops and have a casino night with you. If you're coming and you say, you know what, we're trying to build a nursery at our school or build something, you know, we'll put together a poker run or something, and you know, we'll have a ride, we'll eat, and we'll raise some money.
Sounds like a good evening.
It's a good weekend.
Now, I have a question. Do you guys ever have events where people can come and ride on the motorcycles with you all? Because that's what I'm interested in.
You know,
Wow.
we're having one right after the show.
Oh, yeah? You have an extra helmet, right?
I always carry a spare helmet.
Because my dad used to have a Harley. He's had a couple, but then he had some health issues, so he's on Coumadin now, which is a blood thinner.
Right.
And as soon as his nurse heard that he's on Coumadin and had a motorcycle, she, of course, scared the you-know-what out of him, so he got rid of his Harley.
You should have got rid of the nurse.
Exactly, right? But I am kind of glad he got rid of it. But I'm just thinking, out here with motorcycles and just being able to ride like on PCH and stuff, it would just be amazing. So you guys should have an event where you raise money by having people
Doctors.
ride on the back of
Doctors
your
without
motorcycles.
helmets or something.
No, with helmets.
You know, that's a great idea, and I'm going to pitch that. In fact,
I like
why
it.
don't you come to one of our Wednesday nights, maybe?
Tomorrow,
Okay.
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
pitch-
night.
I'll buy
pitch
you a
that
Cobb
idea.
salad.
Okay,
Because
there we go.
I think it would go a long way
Yeah.
if you pitched it rather than I pitched it.
Okay.
Just like casino night.
The money could go to arthritis.
Exactly. Yeah, Arthritis
Team
Foundation.
Chandler.
Woo, on the back of a Harley.
You know, we could do a lot of different things, and that's a great idea.
Yeah, I
That's a
love
great idea.
That would be very fun.
We'll meet at Cody's 6:00. The meeting starts at 6:30. We do a raffle. I gather stuff
Get a
from
lot
all
of
over.
Teen Sports Radio stuff.
We're getting some gear. I need some shirts. And then we do a 50-50. So if you put in $5, you got a chance to win half the pot. And then any guests that are there that want to pitch an idea or just talk to us about something, that's their shot.
Well, you know, it's so nice. If someone does have a motorcycle and they haven't ridden with a group, it's so much safer riding with a group. I mean, not only do you get to enjoy the community, but you also get to enjoy riding a motorcycle, and there's safety in numbers.
There's a lot of camaraderie that develops. And speaking of, people learning how to want to ride a motorcycle, about at least I would say 10 women that have been in our group on the back of their boyfriends or significant others' motorcycles are now on their own.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
So bring it on.
I'll put my husband on the back of the motorcycle.
Ronnie, how can we help you? We want to help you now. So tell us if you have a bike or it's in the garage and it's not been, you haven't been on it in a few months. So what can those people do to be a part of your organization?
Well, you know what? All they got to do is come over to Cody's on a Wednesday night, or go to our website, either Santa Barbara Riders or even our Veterans Foundation website, and you can sign up for the newsletter, and then you'll start receiving them. You'll start seeing what's going on, and if that doesn't get your juices flowing for getting on the back of a motorcycle or getting on your own, then maybe that's not your deal.
All right, put your hands together.
Stay in the lounge chair.
We love you, Ronnie. Ronnie, your new name is Shebang. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We got to take a short break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. And Joan Calder, where else are we?
We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, SBTSR.com. I won't even say it.
Nice! Dominique, when are the times?
We are on, if you missed us right now at 9 a.m., we are on at 11 p.m. tonight. We're also on at 2 p.m. on Sundays. And if you like really early in the morning, Mondays, 3 a.m.
Aww.
And this is all Western time.
Exactly.
But if you like 24/7, we're on the internet.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Joan Calder, you brought, he's a returner. He's a stud. I'm sitting. I mean, I could stand and he could sit, and I'm still powers over me. All right, who'd you bring?
I brought Nathan Lawrie.
Woo!
He professional, played 8 seasons of professional football, and he's sitting right here next to me, and he's so tall. It was an All-American tight end at Yale in 2003. I like saying that. I never know what the tight ends do, but I like saying that. Yeah.
And you keep rubbing his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know he emailed me one day, and he told me about a fabulous book, and I want to hear about this. I think everybody in the audience would like to hear about this book.
All right.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I guess I wish I would have read this book earlier in my life. It's a book called Balance. It's by Matthew Syed. And what he talks about is the 10,000 hour rule and really what it takes to be an expert. And it's basically 10,000 hours of purposeful practice. And looking back on my childhood, there's actually two books that really influenced me. More recently than I would have liked. Like I said, I wish I would have had this earlier on. The other one would be a book called Mindset by Carroll. And that talks about having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And, looking back on my childhood and kind of what I went through to get into the pros, to get to Yale, I really think that I luckily found some of these principles naturally. But really the idea is that, to achieve mastery in anything, you really have to put yourself out there and work hard at it and be purposefully driven for a goal. And I think that spoke volumes to me when I read it.
Specifically, can you tell me what one thing was it that was in the book that maybe you would have liked to know before you went pro?
I think especially with the Dweck book, just having the foresight that your abilities aren't set in stone. It's really how much work you're willing to put into it that you can achieve big things. That really speaks to me because I know I'm tall. I'm very tall. A decent speed, but not great speed. But I'm not the most gifted athlete in the world. And to get to the NFL, to get to Yale, I really had to work. I had to bust my butt. We'll say butt. I had to bust my butt at a young age and all through college, and was getting up early and doing twice the amount of workouts as the other guys that I was competing against, and it paid off as I was in college, and then it paid off again in the pros.
So would you attribute your strong desire to attain what you wanted to attain more than talent? Absolutely.
I think he kind of talks about it in the book, but I think that very few people are just absolutely naturally gifted. People talk about Tiger Woods as being this naturally gifted athlete. The truth is, you can look at video of him, hitting the ball as 3 years old. I don't know how many three-year-olds are out there striking the ball repetitively, in their garage, working their craft. He started earlier and worked harder, and that's why he, achieved the level he did. And the book actually talks about, it talks about everyone from Mozart to Roger Federer he was the guy that wrote is actually a table tennis champion. He went to the Olympics, and he always thought he was just naturally gifted at table tennis. But then when he looked back at his early life, he realized that he was just practicing his butt, practicing harder than anyone else out there.
I've thought of this as a trifecta of three things. One is your natural ability, which you're talking about, and then that will being the second, and then the good coaching that you must have gotten as well along the way. And when you bring those three together, the will plus some ability and then some help from people who've been there before.
Absolutely, yeah. I think a lot of it's intrinsic motivation, and then having somebody that can externally motivate you in the right way, and that means having practice that is actually pushing you to get stronger. It's not just dutifully going about your business and just kind of doing an activity, but actually really trying to improve yourself and challenging yourself within that task. And it's anything. It's from sports to academics to whatever you're trying to do.
There's a buzzword out there right now, neuroplasticity. Mm-hmm. And when we really grow, we've actually got to lay down new neurological pathways. And so when you just practice the same thing again and again, you solidify that. But in order to really get the nuances on it, to be able to adapt in the middle of a sports situation or an academic situation, anything, you've got to have these extra pathways, and that comes from the will, and as well as the 10,000 hours.
Right. Yeah. You talk about anyone that's. People throw around the word genius. Sure, I'm sure there's some natural geniuses out there, but a lot of geniuses, they've worked really hard, and they've trained themselves, and they've created new gray matter in their head to actually, like you said, build those pathways. And it's not that they were necessarily naturally born that way. They've just push themselves to become that way.
Just like Dr. May Chandler.
Yep, from ballerina to podiatrist. Sorry, yes?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But one of the things that you alluded to is that by the time you read that book, you had already come to the realization. So it just further enlightened you on the fact that this is the path that I took to get where I'm at, and this book can help others that may be struggling when you were struggling.
Right.
And so do you think that would be a good way for them to maybe get a little bit more confidence, get a little bit more sure about what they want to do, and take that 10,000 hour path?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're passionate about something and you're not necessarily good at it when you first start, there's plenty of things. Since I've retired, I've gotten into surfing, and I was not a good surfer when I started, but the first time I rode a wave, I got that exhilaration that I got from playing football. It was a little bit dangerous. It was hard. It was hard to do, and you could see the reward, by sliding down a wave. And I've seen that by being dedicated to that, I've gotten better and better and better, and I have a long way to go. But it's just kind of reiterated that late in my second athletic endeavor in life to just continue to practice those principles.
It is just so true because, I always get a question, how did you get into podiatry? I guess I don't look like the typical podiatrist. And, I tell them, I'm like, well, I used to be a ballet dancer. And my podiatrist was my best friend as a ballet dancer because of all the injuries from ballet and point shoes. But it's the same thing, like whether it be ballet, which was, mental but also physical, and podiatry or medicine is the same thing. You just have to be determined. And it was like almost one side of the brain to another side of the brain. But both of them I'm extremely passionate about. And, I just went for it full on, 100%, and I think that's what you have to do.
I'm sure the first time you had a patient that had some sort of disease or whatever dysfunction that you weren't super familiar with, you were second guessing yourself because you hadn't done it before. And, and I'm sure that's happened again and again. And now later in your career, you start to feel more confident, and exactly.
Oh, gosh.
So it's any field.
I'll never forget the first surgery I had, and it was like no attending with me, no fellow with me, no other resident with me. It was just me right there with the foot flayed open, and I'm just like, okay, you got it, you got it. And it did.
Scalpel, nobody's there.
It turned out
where's the scalpel?
so wonderful. But you just have to have that confidence, and you have to know that you were trained well, and that you studied and you did all you could to now be where you are.
Sure, absolutely.
A really powerful question that some of my mentors in chiropractic school gave me was, "Are you on the path of mastery?" Just period, or a question mark, because it puts things in focus. Am I willing to go that extra mile? Am I willing to keep it at 110%? Because if you're on the path of mastery, that comes as an easy yes. But if not, then maybe it's not really your thing, and you ought to find the thing that grabs you, where you would say, yes, I'm doing this with everything I've got. And I guess that's how you knock down the 10,000 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
One time I watched a doctor work with a young lady. She was a gymnast, and it was obvious by looking at her body size. She was really good right now, but her body wasn't really meant to do gymnastics for the rest of her life. You could see that she's about to blossom and grow, and her body's going to be different. So this doctor said to her, where do you want to take this? And what do you want to do with it? And do you want to use it to help you get into a really great college? Do you want to be the leader of your team? How do you want to make use of what you're using? And I realized you were just saying that you're now shifting how you're using sports. Can you talk a little bit about how you're currently using all of your football training?
Yeah. I mean, football has taught me a ton. I actually recently read an article by John Harbaugh, talking about the importance of football, and he kind of goes into what it teaches us as young individuals to put up with adversity and work through things. And since retiring from football, I've taken over a family business, and I'm working to launch a new business. And those principles that I learned to just fight through things that I wasn't sure, I had to teach myself a lot of things, and just to be confident that if I put my head down and figure it out and work at it, I'm going to get there, and I'm going to be okay at it. And that's something that I've learned from football, and now as I continue to try to be active and mobile, those things are crucial. Those lessons I learned from the game of football and being a professional in that is it's really powerful.
That's awesome. That's one of the reasons why I got involved with Teen Sports Radio is because I wanted kids to realize how incredibly important it is to be involved in sports.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing, I would say is, we like to, in the U.S., we like to have this myth about the talented, the ultra talented, the very gifted, and this talent myth kind of turns people away from really following their passions because they think if they're not good at it right away that they'll never be good at it. But that's just not true. And I've seen that over and over from a lot of very successful people. And I think when people say you can't do it, you're not naturally gifted, it's not going to be. Don't listen to them. If you want to do it, keep up at it, and if it doesn't work out, and that lesson is going to roll over into something else that will be very beneficial for you.
Nate, when I was in college, I wanted to take an art class, but I thought, I don't know how to draw. So I can't take an art class. and how silly, because I would have learned possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
In there. Yeah.
Painted Cabernet. You have to go to the painted Cabernet. I make art. I make masterpieces.
By numbers. Awesome. Hey, we got the smooshy sign. Let's put your hands to everybody. We're so blessed, Nick, to have you in our community and being such a great mentor, because I know you also do a lot about kids. And we didn't even touch on that, but I want you to come back because I know you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've been awesome, and thank you so much for returning. So put your hands together one more time. Hey, thank you so much. All right. This is Erica Salda. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. And Dominique, where else can you find us?
You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, the internet at SBTSR.com.
Yeah! Woo! We love it. All right, so in the house, very patiently waiting, is Alexis Weaver from Hearts Adaptive. Yes. All right. So it's actually Hearts Therapeutic Riding Center because you changed it a little bit. You adapted. Good. Okay. So I've got a donation here. Okay, and I just want to do that. It's Andy Brown. Put your hands together. She's a hairdresser. Okay, in Montecito. She actually is Dominique and my hairdresser. And I know I'm having a bad hair day today, so don't make it like I did anything because I actually didn't really do anything.
It's radio. You're gorgeous.
Oh, Dominique, thank you so much. So anyway, I wanted to first give you that. And then I wanted you to share with us, a little bit about your nonprofit because you are on our wall. So that means anybody out there, if they would like a free business ad, it's $299 and we'll just directly give all that money to Hearts Therapeutic Riding Center. All right, we love that. And I said that last time, and somebody actually did it. So, whoa! Yeah. I like that.
We love that, too.
Yeah, she likes it, too. So, anyway, talk about your nonprofit, and then how can we help you?
Absolutely. So, Hearts Therapeutic Equestrian Center has been around for about 30 years, and we help people of all abilities ride horses and work with horses. So, children, adults, veterans. We actually have a veterans program, so that made me think of that. And I actually have one of our volunteers with me here today. This is Jody.
Jody!
Hi, I'm a high school student. I volunteer every Saturday from 8 until 5.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's there all day.
Hearts is my favorite place to be.
Wow. What grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Wow. And what do you want to, is this something that you want to pursue, like when you graduate? You want to go to college and do stuff like this, or?
Originally, I actually started volunteering because I love working with horses, but it's really changed me as a person. I think I've learned a lot of empathy from it, and I would like to go to college and maybe study some therapeutic riding techniques and be able to give back to the community.
And come back and teach. We would love that.
Of course. Come back as an instructor.
What exactly do you do when you volunteer?
I lead horses in the lessons, so I am on the team that's assisting the rider.
Right. So the way our therapeutic riding works is that we assess each rider and determine how balanced and capable they are on the horse. And then depending on their abilities, they can be teamed with 3 different volunteers. So one is responsible for the horse and typically leading the horse. And then we have 2 on either side that can be supportive either physically and try to help people maintain their balance, or just verbally, emotionally, making sure that they feel good and comfortable and safe. And so we have different people on either side.
If there are kids out there that have never ridden a horse, it's just an incredible experience. You can hardly verbalize what it's like to be on a horse. And then when you see someone who is handicapped and they're getting to have this experience of being on a horse, it just, it brings tears to your eyes.
It's really spectacular, and it's one of the things that moved me. I started out volunteering several years ago and never thought that it would change me the way it has. I'd have to agree with Jody that you kind of have to see it to believe it. So one of the things that we need, since you were so kind to ask, is we're always looking for volunteers to come out and support our riders. And we have a variety of things that can be done. If you feel like mucking stalls, we can make that happen for you.
I think I would be at that. I would do that because I don't know if the horses don't like me or whatever, but I would be on that horse and I'd have to have all the assistants and the aides around me because, oh God, would be the first thing that would happen. And it's a wild thing. My father had a ranch.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if they saw me coming or whatever. I mean, but I like to do the work part. Like, feeding them.
But actually, like that raises a really good point because horses are really good at kind of sensing the emotion that you have, and so if you're anxious, they know that, and so we're very careful about the horses that we select because they have to go through a program in which we make sure that they're calm, they don't spook easily, and sometimes balanced, and it's pretty spectacular. So you could come out and ride.
Do you think the therapy that comes out of this program comes from the interaction with the horse itself, or is it more from just the physical activity of being on the back of a horse and exerting yourself in that way? What are you seeing from the people that you're helping?
That's a great question. It's both. We find. I mean, how many people here, you can just yell out, have an animal, dog, cat, pet? Okay, so like 5 people just said that they do, and you get genuine, affection and emotion with that. And so being able to do that with a 1,000-pound animal is pretty spectacular and can be really powerful. So that part's really cool too. And then the physicality of it, you are using your body to balance, and to gain core strength. And some of our riders are paralyzed on one side, and so it will help kind of use muscles that they're not even aware that they can use in their core. So, what do you think?
I think that it's both. It's actually amazing on Saturdays working with the same riders every week. We get to watch riders learn amazing things and really change. A lot of them have established an amazing amount of core strength and actually have outgrown their sidewalkers, which are the people who are assisting them. And others have opened up to us as volunteers and emotionally and bonded with us. It's amazing.
It's got to be just that's the biggest blessing of the whole thing. If you could see a child and their condition actually improve, because of the relationship with the horse, that's just slam. I mean, because the love. I mean, because love and hope and all that,
absolutely,
goes together. That's amazing. Well, you guys do amazing things. Do we have any? We got a minute. Do you have an event? We got Ronnie behind you. You need to go to Cody's.
I know.
Wednesday,
clearly, we need to hook up together.
Ronnie's going to hook you up at 6:00 Wednesday at Cody's. You just go in there and speak, and I'm telling you, there's people, they all just start bringing their checkbooks out. This is a great thing. They have to pay to eat, and then they have to pay, anybody else that comes in to visit. It's a great organization.
We love that, but we'd actually love it if anyone listening would be interested in coming to our horse show. That's May 16th. It's a Saturday. It's all day from 8:45 to 4:30. We have a veteran color guard that comes out and does their thing. It's really moving to watch. We have kids ride. We have adults ride, and it's just a great day. We have barbecue, and it's completely free to the public. Just show up. It's out at Hearts. You can find us on our website, which is heartsriding.org.
And then shoot us that PDF, and we'll put it on our events page as well.
You bet. Yeah. But we'd love to see everybody out there.
One of the things you mentioned about you work with veterans, and there's a big community, and we have a lot of vets that, are going through some hard times physically and psychologically. And when you mentioned it, I've seen where these various programs are available. Give me a little bit more information about your veterans program, and maybe we can talk after the show as well a little bit.
Sure.
Nice. There you go. It's about connecting. That's right. We know Ronnie, so that's it. He's a connector. He's just back drinking his coffee, and he's connecting as we're speaking right now. He's writing stuff down. He's an animal.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
And we have a summer camp for kids of all abilities.
That's true, too.
Nice.
And you can sign up through Santa Barbara Parks and Rec.
Okay, you guys are doing a great job. We're very blessed in this community to have you. If Teen Sports Radio can do anything, we're here for you, all right? Put your hands together.
All right. Thank you, guys.
It's go time. We've got to take a short little break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. If you just joined us right now,
You are so freaking late.
you are really late. Okay, but you can catch us on the internet, okay, at SBTSR.com, because all of our shows are archived. We've got a great guest in the house, and I'm going to let Dr. Scott Noble introduce him, owner of Noble Wellness Center.
Thank you, Erica. And before I introduce this fantastic guest, I'd like to put in a quick plug for the Noble Wellness Center. We're teaming up with Sleep Member Beds next Tuesday, the 19th at 6 p.m. It's at our office at 922 Carpinteria Street. What this event is to talk about the combination of how well you sleep and your posture and how these things are connected in your life. There's also going to be some great discounts offered at that time. So come to the event, check us out at the Wellness Center or noblewellnesscenter.com, and all the information is there.
We're going to have a big sleepover.
Yeah. Well, it's a sleep wellness event. So, but I'd like to introduce David Yale.
Put your hands together.
Yes. David's doing some fantastic things for our community. He's a National Science Foundation Fellowship recipient and the director of a local nonprofit called Techsploration. In that work, he is doing the STEM program, which I'm going to let him explain here in a moment. And he's currently running this program through SBCC. David, can you first tell us what is STEM? What's it stand for?
Yeah, so STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
All right, and what's the application of that? Like, how does this work for the kids in our community?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for me, technology is a really expansive idea. A pen is technology in many senses of the word, and engineering is a core human concept. So whenever we run into problems, we use engineering principles to figure out technology, and we weave in the science we have to solve our problems, whether it's better shoes for ballerinas, better football helmets, or motorcycles. All of that is in the STEM domain.
Before the show, we were talking a little bit about like the infrastructure of our civilization and some of these jobs that honestly we take for granted, and how the STEM program is helping people have the kids in the community have an understanding of this from the ground up. Could you give us some examples of that?
Yeah, my experience of being a kid in our culture is that there's really cool stuff everywhere, and it's all taboo. So, don't take apart my phone because I don't know how to put it back together. Don't take the cords off the TV because we'll never be able to watch Netflix again. There's all this cool stuff that kids' natural curiosity is like gravitate. Yeah, check it out. But it's all taboo, because either it's expensive or it's breakable or it's unsafe, and
I'm using it.
Yeah, or it's in use. I mean, I think, and I think the message that kids get from that is, oh, that's not for me. And it's like I forget his name. Is it Nate? It's what Nate was talking about. There's a permission that we have to give people, and allow them to be who they really are.
As I was growing up, I always knew that my mom was famous for taking doorknobs apart at like 3 or 4 years old If she found a screwdriver, she'd take the frickin' doorknob apart. And as an adult, she is fantastic with machinery. She can always have confidence at taking things apart. So I totally salute what you're talking about, that natural curiosity to see how something works and just go ahead and take it apart.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like we need to give the kids permission to do that. And in fact, we have to go beyond that at this point because we're so deep into our throwaway culture that we've lost that. I mean, so many people, neighbors, parents, uncles don't even do that themselves. So there's no one modeling that kind of behavior to the kids, and it's gone. And I was just reading this amazing study of working science and engineering professionals, and 65% of them report having always known or learning that they wanted to be a scientist or engineer while they were in elementary school. And so reaching out to elementary school kids is really a beautiful place to target that curiosity so that we can't open doors anymore.
We've got a minute. We had a short time with you, David, so can you please come back because we have only like a minute left, but I want to announce here that you own your website. Why don't you give your website and your phone number?
Yeah, thank you. Happy to come back. I have a lot to say. So it's Techsploration is the name, and it's spelled, everybody always asks, TCHSPLORATION.org.
Perfect. Hey, this is Erica Salda. I got to thank my co-hosts, everybody here today, Dominique, Dr. Chandler, Dr. Noble, Joan Calder, of course, our Dr. D. This is the Queen of Teen. We'll see you next week. God bless Santa Barbara. Please tune in and join us next Tuesday at KZSB AM 1290 at 9:06 a.m. when we will go behind the scenes with the local students, athletes, coaches, parents, volunteers, and all other teen sports supporters. This is all brought to you by ePro Insurance Agency, leader in gift planning and wealth preservation since 1983. So please follow along and support our student athletes by reading the Santa Barbara News Press, and then join me, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen, Dr. Dugan, my co-host, friends, teens, every week on the Santa Barbara News Press radio station.
You're the best around.